Hello and welcome back to the Tao Manifesting Tarot, the audio edition. Thank you for being here. I very much appreciate it. You are the reason I'm doing it. It's not for the likes on social media. Yes, I want those. And yes, subscribes or the subscriptions, those are fabulous too. But what my main focus is each and every day, because I do a brand new reading every day of the year, my main focus is to inspire you, to fire up your imagination, to reach into your spirit and charge you up so that you can begin to successfully and continually manifest the life that you would like. It's a real difficult situation because we're not really encouraged. Yes, you hear all the time about people and manifestation and stuff, but really, everything in society, more or less, is to condition you, to keep you down, to distract you. And so by virtue of that fact, yes, they may talk about manifesting, but there's too many other things here interrupting. Now, there will be a few who can pierce that veil and minimize the distractions in their lives, and that improves their possibility of manifesting. But for the most part, we get sucked into what it takes just to live day to day. In fact, I remember reading a story last week about a young gal took her first full-time job. And she said, "There's no time for me to live." Well, when you think about it, you're probably going to be getting 6 to 8 hours of sleep. Probably closer to 8 would serve you. You're going to work 8, but then, of course, there's traveling to work, traveling from work. There's a break time in the middle of the day, lunchtime, so on and so forth. So that 8-hour day probably goes to at least 10. So you're looking at 18 hours and you got a remainder of 6. Well, you got to have a little bit of time for eating. If you exercise or do anything like that or hang out. I mean, there's just not much time. We, at this point, the way everything is set up, we are living to work, not working to live. And so she kind of has a point. She says, maybe we should be, the work week should be 4 days, not 5 or 6 or more. And yet in the Middle Ages, they had everybody, including children, putting in 12-hour days, 7 days a week. For the people who run things, you have always been monetized. You are always a commodity. One of the first things that they did in Europe at the beginning of the Industrial Revolution was they got the farmers, as many as they could, out of or off the fields into the city so that they could work for the rich people. Of course, when you're in the city, you're not independent. You're not growing your own food. You don't have your own land necessarily. You don't have any freedom, so they got you trapped. And in the United States, they did the same thing in the 1930s and 40s. They got the farmers, a lot of them, off the farm, into the cities to work at the factories. Oh, just think, working in the factories. Wow. Of course, when you did that, you had whole big cities of people who really couldn't support themselves. They don't grow their own food. If they're lucky, they certainly have a home, but it's a little stamped. There's nothing to really grow. They have no independence. They're trapped. So manifesting gives you freedom. That's why, even though they say the words, they don't back it up. Same thing they talk about freedom and free speech. There's no freedom, no free speech, but they say the words. So people believe. We're going to dig deeper. We're going to get you into manifesting a better life. So we're going to look at these 5 cards, nothing else. This is the only thing on the screen. If you need to, just listen to my voice, close your eyes, get in a meditative state, but pick up the vibe. The middle card is the Oracle card, To Be Fair. To Be Fair. 38 in the upper corner, 3 and 8 is 11, 2, decision, to start something new. To be fair. In fact, 3 and 8 equaling 11. 11 is a very even, very balanced, 1-1. Very nicely balanced. It's give and take automatically. To be fair. Okay? So that's what we're looking at. And in many cases, of course, we know life isn't fair. We use that as kind of an excuse for why we're getting taken advantage of. But the fact of the matter is everything is designed to look and sound like it's being fair, but it's not. You know that. You feel it. In fact, that takes us to the 9 of Swords card. Swords are thoughts, ideas, beliefs, usually from other people that we accept. And the 9 of Swords is probably the worst of all Swords cards because you see the agony here. Here a person is lying in bed or sitting up, hands on his face. He's agonizing. He's having nightmares, despair, distress. It's the coulda, shoulda, woulda stuff. Oh man, if I just didn't say that, or if I just had gone to school better, or if. They get you in that position, they got you. And guess what? Right next to it, from a different deck, again, the 9 of Swords. You are stuck in your head. You have these ideas that have been given to you by your parents, society, whoever. If you've accepted them as being true, everybody does that. I mean, that's from the age of birth, or 0, to about 7, all they're doing is soaking up information. That's why children cannot make decisions, because they live in a fantasy world. Whatever mom says is true, whatever dad says is true, whatever grandma, grandpa, uncle, aunt, whatever they say is true, brothers, sisters, is true. It's when they get to be about 7 or 8 or 9, they go, Jesus, there is no Santa Claus, and they begin to question, but by then it's too late. That stuff's already been programmed. So we see 2 9 of Swords together, meaning the ideas that you got and accepted from other people is true. Not your fault, but you accepted them as true. You're going to understand now it's all baloney. And the last 3 or 4 years have really pulled back the curtain. And you see that much of what we've been told is not true. In fact, just the opposite. We've been lied to. Like, for example, they're going to talk to you about freedom, but they're censoring on the internet. They're going to talk about independence, but they're going to try to electronically control your money so that they can close your account just by pressing a computer button. They're talking now this week about making it a law that by 2026, 3 years down the road, maybe 2-3 years down the road, every car made will have a kill switch, electronic kill switch. Why electronic? Because it can be controlled by a computer. They can shut down whole cities. But they're talking about freedom. They're talking about possibility. And yet at the same time, they're pushing toward you will have nothing and be happy. So the 9 of Swords, the 2 of them together emphasize the fact that, whoa, what I'm being told and what is true don't match. You're not being fair. There is no give and take. You're just taking, and I'm giving, out of balance. So the next card is the 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands says, that's it, I've had it. I've carried this burden long enough. I've carried these lies. I've carried these beliefs. I carried these goals, these ambitions that you gave me, you told me were valid. And they're crushing me. I mean, you can see how heavy those poles weigh on this guy. 10 of Wands says, that's it. I'm giving up that stuff. I'm not going to take what you've dumped on me. 2 9 of Swords, you've lied to me. The 10 of Wands, you've given me all these burdens, all these things that just weigh me down. Don't make my life better in any way. So the final card is the Queen of Pentacles. Pentacles are things that you value. Okay? We've been taught to value, to monetize everything. Money, 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 money. That's all that matters. And with that idea, you become nothing more than a monetizable tool for business, for the rich. You come work for us, we'll pay you. You do what we tell you, we'll keep you around. If you're a good boy or girl, we'll make sure that you can live on a little. If you're not, we're going to take it all away from you. They have monetized human beings. You're aware of that by now. Well, the Queen of Pentacles is the ultimate lady in terms of value. She's down to earth, stable, mature, trustworthy. You have to come up with your own set of values. What's important to you? Is it just money? Will that new pair of shoes, that new house, new job, new house, will that make your life better? How valuable is happiness? Real happiness. How important is peace? Real peace. Love, friendship, loyalty, gratitude. How important are those things? Money doesn't buy any of them. Money doesn't even buy you health because we all die. So the Queen of Wands is saying, or Queen of Pentacles is saying, set your own values. That's the only way that you are going to be fair. It'll be an equal give or take in your life. You decide what's important to your life. Put down the lies. Put down the burdens that they've dumped on you. Just to be fair to yourself. That's the reading. Back again tomorrow with another Tao Manifested Tarot reading. Hope you're here with me. If not, between now and the next time we do, peace and blessings.